Oh, Clint, it's the Kent State game. We probably don't have very much to say about this Georgia game or this weekend of college football.
Have you ever known us to not say a lot of things, Daniel?
Well, I have known us to say things, but no one be able to hear them because of the audio quality, but I've never known us to not have things to say. We got plenty of thoughts on this game. We're going to give you official score predictions, preview, breakdown of the game. Plus, we're going to make you a boatload of money with locks. All of that coming up on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is good, party people? We are back. Today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline, and it's good that they're the sponsor today because we
are about to be betting online. You know that's right.
All them bets. So don't worry, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about them, BetOnline, our favorite people. But first, Daniel, let's just break it down for the people. We're going to give them a full official prediction of what we think is going to happen in this game come Saturday.
It's very official.
It's very official. We're the most official people on the flippin' planet. Okay?
It's debatable, but we do take it very seriously.
We take it seriously. That's what you need to understand is we take our predictions very seriously. Daniel and I keep track between ourselves. We're out there in front of God and everybody saying what's going to happen. We're going to talk about this, the lines for this game, for the Georgia-Kent State game, as well as other notable games that we are putting our hard-earned cash on so that you can do the same thing too. So that's segment 2 and 3, but the first segment is this. The Georgia line, Daniel, sitting right now, the point spread is 45.
The big 4-5.
That's close to that 50 burger that you and I don't touch.
You don't touch it.
We don't touch the 50 burger point spread.
Full disclosure, I don't love anything over 40. I don't love to take any game to lay 40 because it's just it's a wild thing to consider. It's not crazy to think Georgia could win this game by 45.
It's not.
But to bet on them to win this game by 45, Clint, is a totally different set of circumstances. But I don't know why I'm spending all this time talking. You're up first today, Clint, and so why don't you tell the people exactly what the score of this game is going to be and how it's all going to break down, and that way they will know whether or not they should lock this up.
Let me start with the Kent State score. They're going to get 6 points. Okay? They're going to get 6 points.
That's a great number. I have it written down. Right here.
Okay. And this is very unique because, Daniel, I think that 45 number is exactly what Georgia's going to get on their side. I think the game is 45-6. I don't think they eclipse the point spread of that 45. I think they get to that. However, I think that just like last week against an SEC school, we are able to see Carson Beck come out. We're able to see everybody get them points. We're able to see wide receivers get in the end zone. We're going to see that rushing attack, which, by the way, Daniel, did you know this? Last year's rushing attack, 4.9 yards per carry. This year's rushing attack, 5.5 yards per carry.
Now, 4.9, 5.5. Help me because math is not easy.
It's hard.
Math is hard.
We're better this year at rushing.
Oh, but last year we won the national championship.
There you go. Keep going, Daniel.
And we're better this year.
Keep going.
At that aspect. That's interesting to know. It's just something worth filing away.
Just keep it in the back of your mind for later, if you will.
Okay.
So yeah, 45-6 is what I got this game going, Daniel. What do you have the same?
Well, it's interesting. You got 45, so you have Georgia kicking a field goal here.
I do.
I also have 6 points. I'm not going to change my prediction based on what you say, even though I could gain a strategic advantage if I did.
You very could.
But I'm a man of integrity. And so I also I'm going 6 points. I think there's a chance that 6 points is 2 field goals. I also think there's a chance that it's a touchdown and a blocked extra point.
I got it 2 field goals, but you're right. That
blocked extra point is on the table. I do not have Georgia kicking a field goal, however, and that means I have the final score of this game being Georgia 49.
Ooh, there it is.
Kent State 6. I would not touch this 45 points with a 10-foot pole, Clint.
No. No.
Now, the over-under is 62.5. Both of us are coming in on the under. You're coming in pretty hot on the under here.
I'm coming in real hot.
Are you
62.
betting this under, Clint? Are you locking up this under for the people?
Let me tell you this right now. You lock up that under. You lock it up.
Ooh.
62.5 points. I know Georgia's offense is rolling hot. I don't care what Kent State got. They're coming off 2 games, Daniel, where they are facing stiff competition in 2 of their games. And they've
Kent
just
State?
decided. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just decided to get Georgia on the books as well in Athens.
Kent State trying to get paid. You understand?
Getting paid. That NIL money got to come from somewhere, and boosters at Kent State don't got the pockets. No, Daniel, this is going to be rough and tough for their offense. The defense, the same thing. Our offense is just rolling. And let's say, hypothetically, worst case scenario, we have another game like we did 2 weeks ago where we played down in competition. Yada, yada, yada. That under's still hitting that.
You cash that under.
So give me the under, Daniel.
If you want, there's some opportunities in betting to really create a sweat for yourself, Clint. Let me ask you this. This is kind of down the road.
If I know you, you're sick enough
I love
to
a
make
sweat.
yourself
I love a sweat. I love a good sweat. Listen, you get the impurities out, you know,
Sure.
like you just sit in a little sweat. Did you stay up until the end of that Iowa game to realize that you did not? Did you hit that under?
Oh, I hit that under, Daniel.
Yeah. Did you stay up till the end of that lightning delayed game by 3 hours?
I stayed up, Daniel. I
Wow.
watched that thing.
What a man. Okay. You're not going to have to stay up that late for this sweat, but I don't hate the under 62.5. But I do think that the Georgia offense is a bit of a wild card. I made a policy with myself and with some dear friends last week. Do you remember what that policy was, Clint? Because you were
tell the good
included
people.
on the text.
Tell the good people.
Never, and listen to me when I say never.
He says never.
Never make a bet that in any way goes against Todd Monken and this Georgia Bulldog offense. Technically speaking, the under 62.5 is a bet that goes against Todd Monken and this Georgia offense. So I'm going to go the other way, but I'm not going to take the over in the game, Clint. I'm going to give you first half over of 34.5. Now listen.
That's a spicy line.
Coming out hot in this game. I like Kent State to get at least 1 field goal early in this game. I think Georgia scores 35 on their own in the first half of this game. They are going to roll. Stetson's in. The starters are in. The pedal's on the gas.
If you're in the game, you're a starter.
Well, that's not technically true, but
I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know what other people are saying, Dave.
That is what people are saying. All right, so I'm locking that up. I'm locking first half over 34.5. Clint's locking the under 62.5. Neither of us are touching the spread of the game.
No.
But we are betting some spreads of some other notable games in college football. So if you like making money, please come on back because, boy, do we have some money to give you today.
We got some money. And speaking of money, those people over at BetOnline are the people that you need to get to take all of your money and put it down. They are safe. They're reliable. They're the official sportsbook people of Locked On Bulldogs as well as the Locked On podcast and Locked On Atlanta. BetOnline, they are safe. They're reliable. They have all them lines. They have over-unders. They have parlays for days. They got bonuses. They got everything. Don't go to your buddy Sal. He is just going to stab you in the back. I promise you.
That's not a metaphor.
I'm sorry. He will literally shank you.
He will. Trevor, listen in the YouTube comments. He will literally shank you.
BetOnline, your sportsbook experts. Daniel,
I'm sure BetOnline loves when we work in a shanking into the ad read.
Well, we're telling the people that that's what happens outside of BetOnline.
That's right. That's right.
In BetOnline, it does not happen.
No one's ever been shanked on the website BetOnline.
This is what I'm saying.
That's what we're saying. We can confirm it. Listen.
I can't confirm if
we don't know anything about the yacht.
I don't know.
We don't know. It's landlocked, but people do crazy things. They get the yachts in there. Okay?
There's lakes.
There are rivers and lakes.
Tributaries all the day long.
Clint, where are we going here?
I don't know. We're talking tributaries. Okay, let me start.
Please start, please.
Water basin
for the people.
Look,
talking about the Suez Canal over here.
There is a bounce back game that's going to happen for a team, and this is a little bit overreaction theater. And I like this line that Vegas gave, but the bounce back game that's going to happen is with Sparty. Daniel Sparty went up to Seattle and took it.
Yeah.
And by the way, we told you playing in Seattle ain't a joke.
I also told you lock up Washington -3, and that thing cashed in the first 6 seconds of the game.
Easily.
Yeah.
Okay. But now they're getting Minnesota Golden Gophers, and that boat comes on top. Speaking of boats, speaking of tributaries, just rowing on down.
That ain't no yacht, but he rowing it. He rowing it.
I don't know how. What if I was to tell you, again, Michigan State has some talent, has a better coach. Minnesota does not have better talent or a better coach. And Sparty's catching 3 points, Daniel. This is overreaction theater if I've ever seen it. Give me Sparty +3.
I hate to do it first off the jump, Clint.
We're disagreeing. I love it.
We're going to have to fight on this one because this is my strongest play of the day.
Ooh.
Minnesota is a better team than Michigan State all the way around. I might grant you that Mel Tucker is a better coach than PJ Fleck.
He is.
But Minnesota has more talent. Minnesota is a better team. The only reason that this line is 3 points is because Michigan State is still hanging on to last year's credibility. Clint, have we not considered the reality that it's possible that Washington, the University of Washington Huskies football team, might not be, in fact, a juggernaut?
Yeah, see,
it could be that Michigan State is just bad at football.
This is the key. If you go back and look at the game, Michigan State made it a game at the end, and there was so much wackiness happening. But they made it a game in Seattle. So one of two things: Washington isn't as good as you thought, or Michigan is really bad. This is the weird combination that's happening here. I'm banking on Michigan State, Washington being good, and Michigan State living up to that and making a comeback.
I know they're in separate divisions, and so this game is not necessarily going to dictate the outcome of this. But I love Minnesota to win their division, to go to the Big Ten championship game. I think they're the best team on that side of the Big Ten. I think they're better than Wisconsin by a mile. I think Minnesota is a legit football team. I don't think they're on the Michigan-Ohio State level of the Big Ten, but neither's Michigan State. Michigan State's the fourth best team in their division. They're not even in the same neighborhood as Penn State. And so I think Minnesota is better than them. I know it's on the road. It's at Sparty. That gives me a little bit of a pause. But I found this number at 2.5, so I'm taking the better number at 2.5 here. So you got to shop around, find your best line. If you like Michigan State, get that 3 points. I'm taking -2.5 for Minnesota, and that's who I'm locking up. So folks, you're gonna have to make a choice here of who you're gonna go.
Turns out we're both making you money this year, so we're gonna make
one of us is gonna hit this. One of us is gonna hit this.
Look, Daniel, I'm gonna go to another game that I love. This line, Vegas is trying to play with me on it. I'm not believing in Oregon State at all. I think they're a better football team. They're a better football team than they were last year.
Oh, that's no doubt. There's no doubt about that.
There is a arrow pointing up.
That's right.
But USC might be for real. Like I hate to say it, I really do, because I hate Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
They making the playoff, Daniel.
Let me ask you this: do they have to be for real to cover this line?
See, this is
there. It is.
It's 6.5. 6.5.
What if I told you I could find you a 5.5?
Yeah, you go ahead.
There's a 5.5 out there.
We're going to find that 5.5, and we're going to take that 5.5 because USC is going to steamboat race the freaking Beavers. It's not even going to be close.
This one was on my bench, but I'm going to bring it into the. It's now playing, so that means it's a starter. I believe that's how it works. Is that right? Is that accurate? Daniel. Give me USC -5.5. I'm also going to bring this one in. So we're going to agree on this one. Disagree on the first one. Agree on this one. Oregon State's still getting too much credit for beating Boise week 1. Boise's not good. Boise's bad. So, all right, I'm going to take you to a Friday night game, Clint.
Here we go.
Let's see how well you know my betting strategy this year, which, by the way, is going fairly well.
It's going very well, Daniel.
Who's the team that I love to fade so far this season, Clint?
Is Bronco still coaching down in Virginia?
It's hard to say who's coaching. I can't say that anybody's coaching. I believe it's Tony Elliott, the former Clemson offensive coordinator. But what had happened to the offense was Virginia doesn't have any. And I have faded Virginia now 3 weeks in a row, and I have cashed 3 weeks in a row. And I ain't going to stop now. You understand?
Daniel?
I'm going to ride that train until it derails and crashes in a fireball of death. Syracuse is laying 9
I'm sorry.
against Virginia.
Daniel, 9?
It's at home. It's at the no longer called the Carrier Dome. But it's Syracuse, who is a good team this year, by the way, undefeated.
Very good team.
And Virginia's terrible. So until proven otherwise, I will bet any number with any team at any time. Whatever Vegas gives me, I'm fading Virginia. So give me Syracuse -9. Those are never words I thought I'd say on this podcast.
Daniel, that's gross in entirety. Are you going to watch that game?
It's on Friday night, so there's a chance I would. If it were on Saturday, no chance.
Yeah.
I would, but I might watch it.
Okay.
Syracuse is actually a kind of a fun team to watch this year.
They're a fun team. They're a screwball team. Daniel.
They are.
Okay. I'm going to go to another Pac-12. Pac-12 chaos is just, I'm getting, there's a couple of cream rising to the top, Daniel. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is my last one. Then we're going to go to break. Oregon Ducks got some things going. Mm-hmm. Daniel? Mm-hmm. Dan Lanning.
We about to agree on this one too. I have this one on my sheet as well.
Washington State Cougars, not a particularly fond of discipline, of tackling, and of fundamentals of football.
I thought they were going to be better this year. They are not. Washington State. I thought Washington and Washington State were going to be similar teams this season. They are not.
No.
That disparity is the Apple Cup going to be a cakewalk. It's going to be a blowout.
Oh, my gosh. Oh. I got Oregon at 6.5 points.
That's a great line. That's a great number.
Give me Oregon 6.5 all day long.
Double it up. I'm locking it up as well. It's an easy number. Oregon -6.5. I know it's on the road, but Dan Lanning he's starting to turn the key. He's starting to instill. You read this thing about how he doesn't want them doing whatever their fourth quarter. You know, they play that shout in Austin Stadium. Yeah. He told the team they're not allowed to participate in that unless they're up by 20 points going into the fourth quarter. Dan Lanning knows that you crush a weaker opponent. You do not let them hang around. You do not let them pretend to have life. So give me Oregon -6.5. I love it.
Daniel, we're going to come back after this and talk about some more locks. But first, I want to talk about Nugenics. Nugenics, I don't know if you are anything like the rest of the human race, Daniel, but you age, right?
Oh, no, not in that regard.
Daniel doesn't age. He doesn't age at all. As a matter of fact, he looks like a svelte 30-year-old, ladies and gentlemen.
Svelte?
Yeah, svelte. No, it's okay. You're fine. Okay. Right now, Nugenics is maybe you're getting a dad bod. Maybe you're feeling a little less like your old self. You don't got time to work out. Well, that's where Nugenics comes in. You can feel like you are getting in shape because you are getting in shape. And men of a certain age lose testosterone, free testosterone, as a matter of fact, the man hormone, if you will. Right now, you can get back to the winning ways, to feeling like you are somebody that is who you were, with all the energy, with all the stamina that you want. Want more energy to counter the negative physical effects of aging? Nugenics Total Testosterone Booster with testosterone will help turn back the clock, re-energize your workouts, get you better results at the gym, and help you look and feel like the man you really want to be. Get it right now. If you text college to 231-231, text Total T Nugenics, text college to 231-231, and right now you get a complimentary bottle of Nugenics Total T when you text that. Text right now bottle of Nugenics Thermo, the most powerful fat incinerator ever with the key ingredients to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text college to 231-231. Text college to 231-231. Messaging and data rates may apply.
All right, Clint. I only have one left because I've had to agree my way with you through all of my picks.
That's really
so
hard.
far.
That's really hard.
So I've only got one left. So why don't you start the people off here? In the third segment, listeners deserve some winners. Clint, give them what they want.
Daniel, you said winners.
Give the people what they want.
You said winners.
Mm-hmm.
So let me give you some winners. And look, I'm going to save one for the very end because I don't know if I even like to give it out, but I want to give it out. I'm going to save it till the very end. I'm going to see how this goes. But look, the football program in the nation, the health of football in the lower western side of America is really bad outside of LA. Arizona State, New Mexico State, not good at football. Bears went up
BYU,
to
not having a great time.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Golly. Colorado State. Oh my word.
Yikes.
However, Cal went up to Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's not a particularly good school. I understand that, but they got
Correct.
talent. Daniel,
Okay.
They have talent. They've always recruited. Brian Kelly did that. Okay. Cal went up there and showed some things. That wide receiver can ball for Cal. I'm telling you right now. That quarterback's got some moxie, I think they call it.
That's what Gus Johnson calls it, for sure.
Thank you. 100%. Right now, Arizona and Cal are playing a game in which the Golden Bears are only giving 3 points to Arizona. Daniel, they're giving 3.
This line stinks.
I know it stinks. I
stinks.
understand it stinks, but you said winners, Cal Bears. Arizona
Stinks.
ain't a winning football program.
No, you're right about that. You're
Their
not wrong
quarterback
about that.
Is kind of electric. He's fun to watch. If you watch Pac-12 After Dark, he's kind of fun to watch. But Cal can play D. Their question was the offense, and they showed me enough in the offensive game. And Arizona played North Dakota State and nearly lost on the field, Daniel.
Yerp.
So give me Cal Golden Bears -3.
Wow. I don't remember the last time I bet on Cal. But it just doesn't feel like it's ever gone well. So I'm gonna sit back and allow you to enjoy that game, but I will be as far away from it as humanly possible. I'm gonna take you to a team that you just recently mentioned, Clint, and I don't know how we've avoided it this long on the show, but you want to talk about a line that stinks. A line that just smells terrible. It is Notre Dame, North Carolina.
Here we
Clint.
go.
Here we go. Now, when you get to a line where nothing about it makes sense, first of all, Notre Dame came out as the favorite at the beginning of the week in this game.
Yeah, they did.
The public has said, no, sir. No, we will not be having that. And since has bet the line all the way down to North Carolina -1.5.
That's interesting.
It's very interesting. It seems like it's still not enough points. Notre Dame is so bad, Clint. Like, they've shown no signs of life,
Zero.
period.
Zero. Quarterback getting chewed out on the headset. They got no life to him, Daniel.
Okay. When a line is this stinky, the smart thing to do is to just stay away from it.
Nay, Daniel. Nay. It might be smart, but scared money don't make money.
But what if I told you, I think I found a way to bet this game while also staying away from the spread?
Interesting. Say more. Say more.
If there's ever been a team that is going to make your offense look reasonable,
Who's that?
it's North Carolina.
Yeah, they give up consistently 40-point games like it's going out of style.
Do you remember how App State beat Texas A&M and scored like 20 points doing so?
Uh-huh.
They put up a 60-piece on North Carolina.
Yeah.
So that just gives you some perspective of how bad the North Carolina defense is. North Carolina's offense, meanwhile, is very dynamic, is explosive.
It is.
But because Notre Dame's offense has been so bad, Tommy Rees might be the worst coordinator in all of college football. This number is at 54.5, Clint. That is too low. Notre Dame is going to score in this game. North Carolina is going to score in this game. 54.5 is too low. So give me that over. And that way, I don't even have to mess with this because Notre Dame might come out and win this game.
Yep.
North Carolina is not good.
No.
I don't love betting on them. But I do love betting that they're going to score points and they're going to give up points. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
So a 30 to 25 game cashes you that over.
We cash that right out of there.
Okay. Well,
yep.
Well, that's something.
That is something.
Look, there's a couple more games of note I'm just going to give you here. Look, I'm not going to give it as a lock because I can't do it. I can't. I can't.
It's more of a lean, more of a feel.
Tennessee and Florida, the point spread is 11.
What are we doing about this game? Let's talk about the game because the third segment listeners deserve to know what our thoughts are.
We might get into this game. We might have a lock by the time this game is over. Daniel, don't you get the feeling that this 11-point spread is an interesting line?
Too many points.
It
feels like too many points.
Guys, I was expecting 8 or 7 when this line came out. It's double digits.
The one thing I thought going into this game was almost the same thing, same logic that I had in the Notre Dame North Carolina game. I thought, I'm going to bet the Florida team total over in this game because I think the Florida offense is at an all-time seller right now. Like it is, you're never going to get a projection of the Florida offense that's worse than it is right now.
Yes.
And Tennessee's defense, not very good.
Not good. They don't play defense.
But the Florida team total, Clint, is 24.5.
See.
How are you going to take the over on 24.5 for this Florida? Like, this Florida team may not score 14 in this game. 24.5 is a lot of points. And so, but if Florida is not going to score 24.5 points, Clint, then 11 points may not be enough. But maybe this is just a straight under game. I don't know.
See,
this is a fascinating game.
It's a fascinating game because Florida does have some defensive players. Look, they have no offense.
Oh, yeah. They got a great defensive front.
Oh, my gosh.
They don't have a secondary.
I was just going to say, they got a couple of playmakers in the secondary. One ex-Georgia player who's back there, getting rated pretty high.
Sure.
You know what I mean. Look, they got enough playmakers. They got enough defense. The problem with Florida, and this is what fixes ills, is their offense. And the best place to go fix your ills is against a team that doesn't care about defense, and that's Tennessee. Okay, so the strengths and weaknesses of this game are flipped up, inverted in favor of what Florida needs. And 11 points is a lot of points, but yeah, that under is fishy, or that total for Florida is fishy, Daniel. Because if they get 20 points, that would be a good game for Florida. You're telling me Tennessee's only going to score 31? That doesn't seem right. It's a stay away. But
it's a stay away. It's a watch. It is a watch and stay away.
If that line creeps up 12 and a half,
you're about to take those points.
I'm about to take those points. I'm going to tell you this right now. But I digress. Let me take you to a game. And this is just purely, this is my most straight eyes on both these teams bet that I have. Wisconsin, Ohio State. Ohio State's a good team. Don't hear me say they're a bad team. They're a good team. They're not the offensive juggernaut they once were.
Do you know who is?
Who?
We are.
We are they. We are those.
We're those. Yeah.
Mother people. Mm-hmm. That's who we are. Ohio State's not. Wisconsin's not a good team, but again, Wisconsin, Big Ten, all this, they do one thing really well. They take care of the trenches. They play defense. They do ball control. All of that is Wisconsin football. The line right now is 18 points. That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
Daniel, I know Wisconsin's not good. I know Ohio State. But if you look at that Notre Dame game, now knowing what Notre Dame is, with Ohio State, give me the Badgers plus 18. I'm going to take the points in the Badgers because I don't think Ohio State's going to have that explosive of an offense.
I'm not betting on this game, but let me just give you a piece of advice if you're listening. If you made it all the way to the 29-minute mark of the podcast,
we hear.
Wait till Saturday to make this bet because you may catch 20. You may catch Wisconsin in 20 because it's only going to keep moving towards Ohio State. That's what these lines
100%.
do.
100%.
You may get 20 if you wait till Saturday. So, all right, that does it for today. We will be back tomorrow talking to you about the things that you should be excited about. the things that you might be nervous about, and the things that you should not sleep on for the Georgia-Kent State game. Join us then. We're going to have some interesting nuggets to drop on you, as we typically do on a Friday, to get you all set for Saturday's action. We are the Locked On Bulldogs podcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network, and we'll see you then.